Hey guys, Comics G-Man here. Just want to do a reaction video to both Film Threat and YellowFlash's latest videos on Supergirl. Let's see what they're talking about now. We'll start with this video.
Where does DC go after the Supergirl box office crash? This is from the Wrap here. Alan, I know you have notes for this one. Give it to me.
DC Studios is facing renewed uncertainty after Supergirl opened to a disappointing 38 million domestic and 68 million worldwide, raising concerns that James Gunn and Peter Safran's new DC universe could be repeating the same mistakes that derailed the previous franchise reboots. One of the biggest criticisms is DC's decision to build its universe around lesser-known heroes with blockbuster budgets. A Warner Brothers insider admitted Supergirl missed on a lot of levels, while others added, you can't launch a non-A tier superhero with a budget this big anymore. Aside from Jason Momoa's appearance as Lobo, the film relied on relative newcomer Millie Alcock and failed to attract major stars for key supporting roles, limiting its appeal to mainstream audiences. Demographic data showed the intended audience, particularly younger women, largely stayed away. Despite the setback, Warner Brothers insists it remains committed to Gunn and Safran's long-term strategy. Peter Safran said, while Supergirl didn't meet our box office expectations, it's just one component of a broader long-term strategy at DC Studios that we remain confident in. Not everyone shares the optimism. One insider dismissed the current DC strategy, saying it's not a brand. Announcing a universe was dumb. DC created an expectation, and now you have delivered one Superman movie. Another top agent suggested that if the pending Paramount acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery leads to leadership changes, James Gunn should be nervous, questioning whether he would.
He should be fucking nervous. You know, that's the one thing I like to fucking see. Why can't these people be held accountable? And why are you people on the internet always defending these people when they do these things? Like, is it really the end of the world if some spoiled Hollywood elite gets fired from his job? I'm sure he'll survive. I'm sure he'll do just fine afterwards. Why are you all so quick to defend these people? That's what I'd like to know at this point. Because if it was like really, really great work that was coming out of here, I would be like, okay, I get it. But it's like, this is shit. This is mush. Like, this movie particular was awful. So I don't know what you're defending here.
Survive another corporate shakeup.
Wow. Now they're saying out loud what we've been saying for a while based on these problems. You cannot ignore numbers. You can't ignore the box office. You can't ignore taking down the big box standee out of the theater on Monday. Normally they change those out on Thursdays, I'm told. Even though I saw Mando and Grogu, that was up for weeks. It was a photo op. You know, those standees in movie theaters are photo ops. Your photo taken in front of the display, or they even auction those off. The fact that, you know, I saw where they destroyed the standee, and I posted that my X post, I'll find it, just kind of blew up because of that. Like, it's unusual. The collapse of this is I mean, I think we could have predicted it pretty easily, but man, I think it's worse than a lot of people thought. What do you think, Alan?
What do I think? Yeah, I mean, if I were buying a new studio and I see results like this, yeah, maybe I would just want a clean house.
Wow.
You know, we mentioned on Monday. Yeah, go ahead.
This is, by the way, this is the AMC Santa Anita Mall in around Arcadia, California area. But here you go. They've got the standee is the Supergirl S is over here. A pile of ripped up cardboard is here. I didn't want to get the worker's face. I don't think that was. And then here's
you got their ass instead.
So here, well, what can I do? Here's this liminal space. It looks like a Backrooms promo now.
Yeah.
But that's where we are. I think there's going to be a shakeup. And again, yeah, as the person said in the article, announcing a universe was not quite the right idea. Announce a Superman movie, see what people like and grow from there. But a universe, I really think that starting universes is a bad idea.
Well, what's clear is when he made that initial announcement,
Yeah, no, I think Chris brings up a really good point about that. I think they did kind of go, they shouldn't have started off so big. They just should have started with Superman and see what was good and what was bad and just build from there. So I guess that is where the Justice Gang idea was kind of a mistake. Even though Mr. Terrific was awesome, I like Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. I grew to like the Hawk Girl a little bit. I think she could do better though. But besides that, maybe you could have saved them more for the future and see how Superman went on his own, and then maybe try them out like in Peacemaker. You know, like maybe introduce them in Peacemaker. I mean, I hate to say that because I know a lot of people like the Mr. Terrific fight scene. So, you know, that's hard. That's a hard one to take back. But if you were to just focus on Superman, we wouldn't have that Mr. Terrific scene. So unfortunately, if I was behind it, if you told me, should we focus purely on Superman and just not worry about a universe right now and just build up from this one Superman movie? Or should we do all of this with the Justice Gang? I think the smartest decision would have been to focus on Superman. Give David Cornsweet his golden moment. I really do. And then we could have brought in all these people, tested out how they are in the TV shows. You know, but James Gunn can't help himself with the ensemble cast because that's all he's good at. We all know that. And I also hope that Chris is right, that there's going to be a shakeup at DC. I would like to see people held accountable, but I'm not expecting it because it seems like in every other job in the world, we're all held accountable even to the dumbest things that shouldn't even matter. And yet here are these people making multi-million-dollar mistakes, and they still get to keep their jobs. So I don't understand that.
But what now we're realizing is that everything he wanted to do was what James Gunn thought would be cool versus what do DC fans want and what would they think it would be cool. And so he began announcing all this.
Yeah, but obviously they're telling DC fans, go fuck yourself, right? They're clearly telling us, go fuck yourselves. That's the obvious message of Warner Bros., DC, and James Gunn. Fuck you and your comic books, nerds.
Stuff. And I think because maybe 30% of it hit, the other 60% people just accepted. And now you're just realizing it's in trouble. And, you know, and the biggest thing is you don't have writers who know how to write anymore.
No.
You have writers who...
And it's not just the left, right? Doesn't that stupid studio Angel that made that horrific Young Washington movie, don't they sell themselves as like the alternative to Hollywood, right? The writing was atrocious, absolutely horrible in Young Washington. There was no writing. Like it was not there. Like the writing that was there was just generic, and it felt almost like you could have just typed it up on the AI and just said, "Oh, here's my script."
Never read the comic books, so they don't understand. And then you have executives who don't know how to budget these things properly. DC Studios is in a mess, and the best thing you could do is clean house. Just fire everybody, start over, and get competent people in.
Oh my God, that would be such a dream if they just fired everybody at DC. Not a single one left in there. That would be historically the best thing they could do. I would love to hear about that, but I just don't trust that that's going to happen.
Leadership.
All right, so let's go on to YellowFlash. He made this one 5 hours ago. Let's see what he's saying.
Sadly, I think the Supergirl saga is finally coming to an end, and I gotta say, I have been having so much fun with Supergirl. This is some of the most fun I've had doing YouTube content in some time because I got to tell you, this salt has been so tasty. The people losing their minds over this movie have been so entertaining, and it's sad that it's coming to an end. You wouldn't think so, considering what we're going to go over, because all of these posts are pretty much from yesterday. People have been losing their minds all week. And in some cases, it's been worse than last week. But I think the final nail is about to hit. Minions and Monsters.
That's funny that he says it like that, because in my last video that I just uploaded, I put in the headline, Supergirl is dead. I can't find the pulse, right? Like, I can't, like, looking just through the news articles, the only thing left is about Helen Slater trying to talk positive and try to save Supergirl, I guess. I mean, it's a very flaccid attempt to use Helen Slater to save this. And I don't think it's working, but that's all that's in the news feed. So I think it's dead. I think he's right. I think Minions definitely put the final nail in Supergirl's coffin.
Looks like it's going to be a big hit. I don't know if it will overshadow Toy Story. It's definitely going to take #1 this weekend, though.
No, it's definitely a big hit, because after me and my grandpa left from Young Washington, we literally left at the first hour because it sucked. We didn't finish the movie. And the movie theater was empty. There was only 4 or 5 other people in the movie theater. That's how it's been all week, going to the theaters for 2 weeks now or so. And it's never crowded over there. When we were leaving, there was a crowd of mothers with their kids to see Minions. That's it. That's all people are going to see now. I think that's where all the money is going to, all these animated films, because it's the cliche thing to do. I mean, that's the only family thing to do for families, and that's where the money is. That's where the money is.
Toy Story is going to take #2, and then maybe Supergirl gets #3. I think there's a chance that you could see it hit #4. You know, I bet those Christian dads of 4 could have really helped this movie. But hey, Millie Alcock said if you're pissing the right kind of people off, you're doing okay. That's what a 68 million global looks like. You know where those Christian dads are going to take their kids? They're going to take them to see Minions and Monsters, Toy Story 5. Both of those.
Is he wrong? Is he wrong? Leftist? Is he wrong? That's where they're going to go. That's what they're going to do. Do you blame them? You talk down to them, that's what they're going to do. What else do you expect? So you think being an asshole to people and talking down to them is going to bring you to bring them to the theaters to see your shit? I don't understand your logic.
These movies are going to be at the top. And it's really funny to see people defend what she said. Oh, who cares? Who cares what they think? Well, you should, because they're the ones that take kids to the movies. They're one of the few demographics having kids. And you really need families for a movie, especially a superhero movie, to do well.
Not just a superhero movie, but more specifically a Superman family movie. Because Superman is a family character, dude. He's very colorful, very open, and he's good for kids and families, fathers and sons, right? And Supergirl should be good for fathers, daughters, mothers, daughters. So specifically, because superhero movies can be dark, right? But specifically a movie that's branded with the Superman logo, a Superman family, it should be more open to family. That's it. Supergirl should have been more family-oriented as a movie.
So Minions and Monsters, you know what's really funny? So Deadline put out this whole box office update, because it starts Wednesday, because we're in a weekend. Or we're in a holiday weekend, excuse me. So there's not one mention of Supergirl in this article. They don't.
Because Supergirl is dead. I think she's dead. I can't find the pulse, dude. I think she's dead. I think the movie is dead.
Talk about it at all. They just talk about how Toy Story and Minions and Monsters are going to be the real conversation this weekend. Not one mention of Supergirl. And it's only the second weekend. How sad. How sad indeed. In fact, when you really dig into things...
Holy shit, is that true? James Gunn lost 70% of DC fans? What's next? Where did you get that number? Oh, Matt McGloin. Didn't I read one of his articles the other day? All right, holy shit. All right, guys, you know what? I'm going to stop this now. I think that's enough for YellowFlash, and I'm going to make a video on this. I want to read what he's saying here, man. That's pretty good. Holy shit. Where did he get that number? Wow. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.